Okay, good morning. Happy Monday. It's Daryl here. It's bright and freaking early, 5 a.m. here in Connecticut on the East Coast. Okay, it's going to be an interesting video. I have some opinions today. My gut feelings here, and they might not go along with what I'm supposed to say. What a person on the left or far left or progressive or Democrat or liberal, the things that I consider myself. What I'm about to say might not sound like what I should be saying. But like I told you guys before, if there's one thing, that I could be wrong sometimes. I could say stupid things or whatever, but I'm going to be honest with you guys. I'm going to tell you from my heart how I feel and what I see things is my honest opinion, and I have to do that. Okay, who I'm talking about Lia Thomas, the transgender Penn State swimmer. Okay. I am, as you guys look back at all my videos, my record here, I am completely in support of the LGBTQ community, trans people's rights, gay rights. I'm against what's this don't say gay thing in Florida. But I have some honest questions. I think Michael Phelps recently commented on this, and he said, there's room for conversation here, not hate, but conversation. Because there's a few points with Lia Thomas that that doesn't seem right to me personally, just something to talk about. Okay, now here's the thing that I shouldn't say. I'm going to be honest with you guys, and I'm not saying this to be mean, I'm not saying this to be hurtful. When I look at Lia Thomas, now see here, when I look at Lia Thomas, it looks like a male in a female bathing suit. And now see, I know I shouldn't say that. I've taken Trump supporters to task over and over again for being shallow and judging things just on their appearance. There's the way something looks like this to me, so it must be that. I just wanted to start off by saying that because there's a reason for me saying that too, because there's a lot of controversy. She just recently won, I think it was the 200 meter or the 500 meter freestyle. She broke the NCAA national records for this, and there's a lot of controversy. When she was on the podium, on the winning the first place, there was a definite lack of cheering, lack of support for her, even amongst her own teammates, as opposed to the other women that won. In the crowd, you hear people arguing about, that's not a woman and all this other stuff. Now, the only reason I said this about how she appears is because I'm not saying I agree with it, but this is where, the visual aspect of this. If you just look at the shallow visual aspect of this, and that's not what I have a problem with, just that she looks like a man. But that's where I see this is where the controversy starts. All right, so I looked deeper into this. I wanted to see how long she's been transitioning for. Since 2019, May of 2019. I'll have all the links down below. I did a lot of research into this. The NCAA rules are, they have to be, an athlete has to be in transition, be taking hormone replacement therapy for at least 1 year. So Lia Thomas has this covered, because that was my first question here, because that's one of the reasons why I stated it doesn't appear to be a woman. Now, I know that's not how I should judge this, because look, if you look, again, I don't mean to be criticized or to be hurtful here, but if you look, say, at some of the women basketball players, a lot of them are taller than me and have more muscle definition than I do. So you can't really, saying that Lia Thomas just looks like a man in a woman's bathing suit, that's not a reason to disclude her or to use it's not any real reason. Okay, so I wanted to look at how long has she been transitioning for? Like I said, it's been for 2.5 years, so this is covered. But there's a couple things that bothered me. I'll have the video down below. She's being interviewed on a blog, one of these, I think it's called Swim, a blog, a swimmer's blog. And this caught my ear. Lia Thomas said that how she started replacement therapy, and her coach was saying that she's doing great, like her timing, but it's way down. She's taking hormone replacement therapy, which is decreasing her strength and her speed. Now, right off the bat, that made me question how this is. It seems incompatible because an athlete strives to be the best that they can be, right? That's the goal when you're an athlete. At the same time, she's taking hormone blockers, which are decreasing her strength and her speed, which are making her less competitive, less heading in the other direction. It seems to me there's an issue there. On one hand, you're striving to be the best you can be, to be the strongest, fastest, whatever. But at the same time, you're taking medication to make you weaker and lessen your chances of winning. Now, I know, there's two different set of standards for the men's strength and the women's strength. But there was something about that just seemed incompatible as an athlete. And I have to wonder, this isn't anything I heard Lia Thomas being asked. As an athlete, you strive to be your best, but yet you take medication that is making you less than your best. Yes, best as a woman, but not best as a man. But what about just best as a human being? You see what I'm saying here? These are just questions. I don't mean to be, like I said, I'm not being critical or hateful or anything. There's one other thing that really made me question something that should be a topic of conversation, perhaps. As a man, Lia Thompson was rated 460th in the nation, I believe, as a swimmer. As a woman, she's rated number 1. So obviously, now the question has to be, has she gotten better through practice and just hard work, and has she become that much better? No, she's competing against a different set of people. Now that right there tells you that this person has an individual advantage that the other women don't. And that right there says it all. That when she was competing as a man, she was 460th, and not through practice and hard work or anything like that has she now become number 1 in the women's. Now, like I said, I'm not saying this to be hateful or anything, but that right there demonstrates an issue. Because, like I said, becoming number 1, that was not, and I'm not saying that Lia Thompson doesn't work as hard as any other swimmer on earth or anything like that. But that right there tells you that there's another advantage going on here that the other swimmers do not have. Now, if somebody has a particular advantage above all the other competitors, is that a fair competition? I'd have to say no. And so these two things are questions I have. Like I said, I came out at the beginning of this video and said what I think a lot of detractors say, that she looks like a man in a woman's bathing suit. And I just wanted to address that first. The way something looks is just a shallow interpretation. You can't always judge. You have to look deeper. And looking deeper, I looked at these two things. Like I said, her hormone replacement, to me, I think maybe somebody should have been in transition a little longer than 1 year, like with the NCAA guidelines, that they only need to be in transition for 1 year. She's been in transition for 2.5, and it still doesn't seem very far, or there still seems to be a question. So these two things, especially her ranking. As a man, she's 460th. As a woman, she was first. You know, was it due to hard work, practice, perseverance, muscle growth, diet? Probably not. Almost definitely not. And that would have to tell you that it's a advantage that only she has. And in sports, that's not really sports. You know, that's something else. If one person has this one particular person has an advantage that no one else has, that's not fair competition. Just some things that I needed to talk about. Let me know what you guys think on this. I really hope this video gets more views than I'm expecting. All right, you guys have a great Monday. I will be back later with another video.